Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, grand rising, wherever you are. This is Let's Talk with Kay, me, Kay, of course. Today is May the 10th, 2025. I'm out here in one of my favorite parks, and I like being outdoors. So I'm like, now you seeing me more outside now versus, I guess inside, or barely making any videos or being in the car or whatever. But of course, before I go into my thing, I like to tell you how I've been. I feel like overall I've been doing okay. Today I ran, try to run at least every other day or every day is my goal. And today I ran a 5K, my fastest 5K up to date. It was a 39-minute, 55 seconds, and that's going up a hill too. So I'm like, hey, if I didn't go up the hill, that'd probably been a faster time. So I'm basically trying to prepare for a 5K run coming up in July. And basically, I want to place. That's my goal. I'm like, I have no excuses, I feel, because I had my surgery. My body is getting back to normal and all that type of stuff. So, and also I just washed my hair, so my hair feels fresh. I know it's kind of frizzy. I didn't do anything to it. I'm like, I didn't feel like sitting in the house, twisting it and all that type of stuff. So I said, I'm just gonna put, you probably can't tell, I don't know, I'll probably put a little makeup on. Well, I ain't gonna say probably, I'm saying, you probably can't tell, I put a little makeup on. Not a whole lot, anything like that, but just some light makeup. And I'm like, why not, just to make me feel a little bit better, because my hair, I just kind of threw it together like, it's in that in-between phase, I guess. It's not quite short, but it's not quite long type of deal. I'm not sure, I might straighten it tonight, I don't know. But anyways, as you guys know, tomorrow is Mother's Day. So to all the great moms out there, the moms that are killing it, doing a great job with their kids, they not causing horrible trauma and all that type of stuff to them, happy Mother's Day. Anyways, I would have to say, currently, I will say, I will say that I am healed from a lot of that trauma and stuff that I went through growing up. I feel like it affected me. It followed me. It led to decisions as far as getting into a marriage that did not do well but caused harm to me. It kind of caused me to make decisions that weren't healthy, sabotaged a lot of things that I felt like would have been beneficial to me, or decided to go against decisions and opportunities because of the harm that was done to me from my mom. And there are some people out in this world, and I know some family members, I won't go too much into that believe that you shouldn't say anything about your mom because she brought you in this world. I'm like, okay, she brought me in this world. I appreciate that. I didn't ask to be part in this world, and this world is not the greatest place, if you really look at things, and it's like, okay, it's not like you brought me to the greatest place on earth or greatest place in the universe, in a sense, when you think of all the hell that's kind of going on earth. And my mom, she passed away in 2016, and basically some people, I'm just gonna bring that out there because I had one person in particular basically use that line. I'm gonna make a video of all the lines that toxic people make, and it's one of the famous lines is, you don't speak on the dead. Yes, your mom, you don't speak on the dead. And my thing is, if my mom or anybody's parent created a narrative in their life that affected them and probably still are affecting them, it probably changed the trajectory of a part of their life, then I feel like you can talk about it. I mean, how do you think generational curses and things will be broken if you don't ever talk about these things. And then when your parent is alive, they basically like, you don't speak ill on your parent and all this. So basically keep things in the shadows. Don't talk about it. Keep it a secret. That's how evil, in my opinion, and other people's opinions too, stay strong in this world. I'm like, we're living in the age of Aquarius right now, where lies are being exposed, truth is coming out, whether you like it or not. And I do believe in some of the things the Bible say, like the separation of the wheat and the tare. I believe, because the Bible have like nothing but astrology, numerology. If people really read the Bible for what it really is, instead of really taking things literally in the Bible, that they will read all the astrology, and you know, they hinted on a lot of things, what age they were in, as far as like we leave in the Piscean age. And you know, of course, if you want to stay in the 3D world, or as other people call it, the Matrix, there are people that's going to be part of that. That's the separation of the wheat and the tare. You got the tare that's just like, okay, going to be pushed aside. They're going to stay in the 3D. And it's not like, I ain't going to say it's like Mother Nature. Mother Nature is doing her thing. The universe is doing it. I would say its thing. I would say her thing. Universe is doing their thing. Mother Nature's doing her thing. The energy on the planet is changing, and you either rise to that level, in a sense, rise to that energy, or you're going to stay in the 3D. Like I was mentioning, not really talking about these things, keeping secrets, not exposing things. That's why generational curses keep on happening. The cycle continues. It's not that complicated as some people make it, like, ooh, a generational curse. It's like, no, it's just toxic behaviors that people keep hidden, and then their kids grow up being affected by that person that was traumatized, didn't get healed or whatever, repeating things subconsciously that they tried to not act on, or, you know, commit or whatever. Now their kids are traumatized, and you may have a few of those kids that get healed, and then you have some that, you know, may not, and then that cycle continues to repeat itself. And what's so sad, you got families that rather stay in the Matrix. And I would say my family is a perfect example, because it's 7 of us. It's, you know, 6 girls, one guy. He's the oldest in the out of the siblings. And I would say, honestly, the way I feel, like I'm the black sheep, you know, and I'm the only one in my family. First of all, I'm gonna put it this way: I was the first one that graduated high school. I didn't get pregnant, you know. Well, I was the first person that didn't get pregnant in high school. And I decided to do better, because I didn't want to live in poverty and things like that. And then on the spiritual level, I saw things, it seemed like, you know, as a kid and a teenager, I was very, very observant. Some people will call me an old soul or whatever, that I was very discerning. I could see through the, you know, lies and the hypocrisy and things like that. And that didn't, you know, bode well with me. And so of course, I would say, if you are that scapegoat, you know, as far as, you know, you got a light to you and things like that, people on regular people who stuck in the Matrix, including your family members, you know, they'll avoid you, talk about you. As a kid, I was like the most hated person. And the sad part about it, I was just minding my business. I wasn't worried about nobody else. I wasn't in competition with anybody else. I was just minding my own business. And then and it's funny, as I get older, it's like a lot of things are being revealed to me. and like, for example, and this was just revealed to me, like, but I will say this part. When I was a teenager, I think I was probably 14, 15 years old. That's when I first caught my mom talking about me. Like, talking mad shit about me. And I'm like, she was in her room and I was passing by her room, and I'm like, I heard my name. I'm like, and I'm hearing her just talking shit about me. And I'm like, as a kid, that kind of hurt me. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Because I felt like I ain't gonna lie, I was a goody two-shoe kid. I will admit that. I didn't have no boyfriends growing up because that was spoken against. Having a boyfriend, and I wasn't sneaky enough, and I didn't have a great poker face to hide that, fact that I have a boyfriend, because I feel like as soon as my mama would find out, she would beat the snot out of me. If she would do it based on me not hearing her across the house and ready to, basically she gave me a good slap and called me a bitch because, hey, I didn't hear her. The irony about it was I was cleaning up. So it's not like I was doing something bad or anything like that. But she was talking mad shit about me. And I know she was talking mad shit about me to the pastor's wife. That's when she was going through her church phase. And then I believe she was talking mad shit about me to this other member of church. Because I noticed that this other member of church, gave us clothes and things like that, that I guess her kids didn't fit no more or whatever. I don't know. But for some reason, like, then I was like, because I always wondered, I'm like, why in the world, like when I first started going to church, I'm like, why in the world they allowed me to sing little solos when I was like probably 11 or whatever, when we first started going, to all of a sudden it's just like, we don't want you to even sing a solo. And I'm like, oh, it recently been revealed to me. My mom was talking shit about me to this other lady that was donating stuff to me, because she was like, I think she was at one point she was like the director of the choir or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And she knew I could sing. They knew from the time I started church until, I got out. But for some reason, they did not want me to be in that spotlight, because they thought that I was like some bad teenager or whatever, even though I'm like honor roll student, didn't get in no trouble, getting kudos from teachers and everybody who know me. They're like, she's a good kid. But because my mom was talking shit about me, it was like, we can't let you sing solos. We'll let your other sister sing solos, but we're not gonna let you. So to me, that was just messy, and that's how you dim somebody's light. So I'm gonna treat you, instead of recognizing your talent and letting you shine, I'm gonna treat you like a pariah based off somebody's word. And what's so funny is the fact that to me, honestly, when as a teen, you don't realize stuff like that was happening, so it lessens your confidence, and then you really believe that, oh, I can't sing because nobody really try to really listen to me. They kind of treat me like I'm invisible, even when I prove to them. I had a choir director had me to sing a song, like, got blown away from just, basically singing a part of a song by myself. He had everybody kind of sing a part of the song just to see who want to sing a solo. And I guess, of course, I would have been the one who would have sung a solo, because he was blown away. And I don't know what happened, but I guess that was on Friday, and then on the basically on the Saturday and Sunday, I guess we find out that morning that, oh, they're not gonna, this guest choir director is not gonna be using our church maybe, I'm not sure if it's because it could have been anything, I'm just thinking, just maybe, well, if they wanted me to sing a solo, and they were like, absolutely not. She's not going to do it. And it's like, to me, that's sad. And then that always changed my thoughts that, dude, if they don't believe in me, why should I believe in me? You know what I'm saying? And I was a teenager, and that fell in my subconscious, and it kind of made me, it was kind of gaslighting. In a sense, it's kind of abuse. It's abusive because it's, you're kind of making somebody believe something that's not true. And that's kind of what I went through. And my mom was the orchestrator of all that stuff. And like I said, because of that, I do believe my mom spreaded a whole lot of lies and gossip about me. And what's so sad, I know other communities experience this, but I feel like me as a black community, in the black community, it's horrible. It's like it's a lot of moms that are jealous of their daughters. And I was one of those daughters that my mom was jealous of. And I always wondered, like, dang, my mama don't like me so much. Is it because of my skin color compared to my younger sister who was, a lot lighter than me? I was wondering, was it colorism and all this stuff? Then you kind of find out years later, it's just narcissism. It's just narcissism. It was nothing wrong with me or anything like that. So I wasn't treated fairly. My money was stolen. I was parentified. I seen the love and kindness that she, gave to my younger sister, but it was like I was a shadow or invisible to my mom. Whenever I wanted to participate in like sports or any other extracurricular activities, she was against it because she used the reason of, we got church, which to me is a cult. Either that particular church, and then I guess from more understanding, I know I'm going to offend people. The people are going to either have to listen and do their own homework, or they're going to have to be, or they just going to continue to be in their cognitive dissonance. But I feel like I used to think it was just my church that was a cult. I think pretty much church in general, religion is a cult when you think of the whole span of the matrix. But anyways, I will talk about more of that later. But so my mom, she basically was like my first hater, and she created other haters. I guess my siblings were a hater of me. My step siblings were my haters. Even when my stepdad passed away, of course my younger sister, she always got to throw some shade, but like in this nice, nasty type of way that to me wasn't even mentioned, because didn't even need to be mentioned, because obviously she didn't stand up for me. She just wanted to brag that, her name was on the program for my stepdad, but mine weren't. But she could have stood up for me, but she didn't. So that was some hater type of stuff. I'm like, why? And I was wondering, maybe because I didn't take the name Johnson. I'm like, I was a teenager. If I was used to my name being a certain way, my mama could have either said, you're going to be a Johnson or not, or like, that's a huge decision for a kid to be made. But I guess because since I was a teen, I guess I'm just going to put it in the black community, girls, I'm going to just say females, or like, it was on the tip of my tongue. It's like we adultified. They don't look at us and consider our minds as being kids or whatever, that we're not going to make proper decisions and use proper judgment or whatever. It's just we kids. But if we make a wrong decision in their eyes, they will look at it as you was an adult and you didn't make that proper decision. So therefore, we're gonna hold a grudge against you. But even before that, I feel like they always had a grudge against me, because even with my stepsister, that she passed away years ago, and it's like, dude, I think a lot of things she did was on purpose back then. I didn't think so, But when I really think of it now, I think a lot of this stuff was done on purpose, because I heard her once say, or maybe I read her mind, that, oh, 'cause I was a teenager. And one of the things they say, I'm not sure if it's just a South thing or this is all over United States. Oh, she thinks she's cute. Mind you, she was an adult. I was a kid. I probably was, like, at that time, I would say about 13, 14. Oh, she thinks she's cute. Oh, I guess thinks she's cute means she's confident. She's self-assured, I guess. I mean, it was just sad. I heard her say something like that. But, I was like, I kind of turned around. I'm like, did she really say that, But I didn't confront her or anything like that, because I wasn't that type of person. So I just let it go. And then one time, she was a beautician, which I never used her again. One time she did my hair, straightened it. She accidentally had hot grease and basically had it fall down my neck, and it caused a serious burn. I mean, part of my skin was off, and you know how those burns are when it hurts. It burns you so bad, it still burns you like a day or 2 days later or whatever. It was that kind of burn. And then, cause I had like extremely long hair. I had extremely long hair back then, and I can cut it. Even as an adult, I could cut it, and it will grow back really long. So at that time, I had extremely long, thick hair, and I guess she wanted to be funny about that. And then at another point, when braids were really popular, I was like, oh, I want some braids. She know how to do braids. This woman did my braids so tight. They was tight for days. Some people, because I understand. So I had braids since then, and they'll feel tight, and then they will loosen up probably like the next day, But these braids were so tight. It seemed like the type, to me, it was just like she's trying to hurt me or whatever, because I'm like, and even when I complained, I'm like, these braids are really tight, It was like, oh, it's gonna be like that. I knew she didn't like me. And what's so sad, I never spoke no harm, no foul about them. So like I said, I had haters. And then like I mentioned, my stepdad, third dad, when he passed away, I think it was last year or the year before. And what's so crazy was I took the time to buy a beautiful bouquet of flowers, because at the end of the day, he was my stepdad. He didn't do no harm to me, even though he basically, I guess, chickened out because he really didn't protect us. I still respected him. And and mind you, I couldn't go to the funeral, but the funeral was in Texas. So I took the time to buy this beautiful bouquet of flowers that was over $100. And what's so funny, my sister, I told her what I did, my youngest sister, and she was like, oh, can you put both of our names on it, and just a sales from both of us, and I'll pay you back later, which I know she wasn't. I'm like, girl, I told her absolutely not. If you want to do something for him, you do it for him. I'm my own person, and I got my own family, so I'm gonna represent my family here, which consists of me and my 2 girls. That's who I'm representing. So, because I didn't want her to take the credit, because I don't know what she's gonna say. She only takes credit for stuff. So, and plus, I believe she's a narcissist too. So the irony of all that, they had to look at that bouquet of flowers that was gorgeous, and they probably ate them up. They probably had questions that they didn't want to answer, because people probably wondering, who's this person who sent these beautiful flowers for your father's funeral. And they couldn't answer, oh, that's the That's the stepsister that we didn't include on the what you call it, on the program, because we are some bunch of haters. So so they had to, I guess they had to eat that up. But so I said never again. I said y'all at this point, my family, not only my mom, my mom, she's actually dead, but my family, they dead to me. And I had a dream kind of like this about 2 years ago, like Thanksgiving time, Christmas. And it was kind of, I didn't understand the dream at first, but I think more and more I understand it. Basically, my family was having their own funeral, and they was visiting me during like a wake type of thing. You know, it had the black cars lined up and all this type of stuff, but I was the center of attention. So honestly, I believe my family considered me dead. If it's not consciously, it's subconsciously, because they don't call, they don't show up, they don't visit. I mean, you know, and I'm like, and what's so funny, I used to make an effort trying to call or see them or whatever. I got to the point, I'm like, dude, I'm not, I just said this. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do an experiment. I'm going to see if somebody from out of my siblings will call me, and just to, you know, say hi or whatever, I'm going to get out the sun, just to say hi, or, you know, how's your day or whatever like that. I'm still waiting. That's all I would say. And that experiment, and that was done about, 10 some years ago, over 10 years ago. Hi, how you doing? Hi, I was just calling to check on you. Nothing. I don't hear a damn thing from them at all. And I don't consider them my siblings anymore. I said, I'm going to just look, my kids, me, or whoever else that's close to me, they are my family. Point blank, period. They just blood relatives. And even when they have like graduations or things of that, they don't call, let me know, they don't tell me anything, nothing. And like I said, I don't respect them at all. I really don't. Ooh, I had to sit down in some shade. I don't respect them at all. And what's so sad, this is not really great lighting. Okay, this is a little bit better. I'm like, I'm just gonna walk and just go to my car, I guess. But what's so sad is the fact that, like, I forgot what I was gonna say. But when it all boils down to it, it's jealousy. They probably believed a lot of shit that my mom said to them about me. I couldn't say nothing to my mom, because my mom, if I say something, she will go back and it's like gossip to her. Instead of, like, if you confiding in her about something, she will use it as gossip. And of course, I'm the villain. So, and this is why when I was like a teenager, college or whatever, I was like, my mom be talking mad shit. And I believe she was talking mad shit right before she passed away. Because when I went to her funeral, this is the story, this is my funeral story. And if any of my siblings want to know, because I know they be watching from the cloud. If any of my siblings want to know that why I immediately left the funeral, this is the reason why. First of all, I say months before my mom died, I had a conversation with her. Months. And then I just kind of stopped talking to her. It was probably either within months or probably a year that my mom, I just had a conversation about, you know, I don't like how I'm being treated. I don't know how the conversation came up or whatever. Unknowingly, I didn't know she became closer to the oldest daughter, who thinks she's better than a lot of people. And she's starting to act really nasty towards me. I'm like, why is she acting nasty towards me? You know, my mom probably was talking shit. And it was kind of a shock to me because this the sister that, you like my little sister, let me take care of you, let me do your hair, let me, to now it's the adult, I don't like you. So anyways, I had a conversation with my mom. It was a genuine conversation because it was, you know, I was hurting at the time. I went through a lot of shit. You know, I went through bullying when I was in the Army. Especially my last year in the Army was brutal. And this same so-called supportive sister was very cold towards me. Why you ain't smiling? I'm like, dude, instead of saying that, why don't ask? Why instead of saying that, why not ask? Why you unhappy? So that just tell me right there how fake these folks are. So I visited after I got out the military. I went back home and visited. Still kind of delusional. Still, I believe in family and I want a family to be together type of mindset, which that mindset is totally out the window right now. So I asked my mom, I'm like, no, I told my mom, you know, and I'm going ahead. So, you know, during Christmas, you know, I visit my mom and, you know, of course, me and my two daughters, we were looking rough because we had an early plane trip in the morning. As a single parent, I'm trying to rush to get them together, rush to get myself together, trying to run to this plane and all this type of stuff. Was tired. And plus, it was like, and then on top of that, my mindset was, you know, basically, hey, you know, you're getting over basically abuse, you know, workplace abuse and things of that nature. So I wasn't at the happiest at the time either. I was going through a depression. And that's why a lot of people need to stop judging folks, looking at somebody and just straight up judge them. It's like, dude, compassion is nowhere in this world. So as soon as I stepped foot in my mama's house, and my sister was there, my oldest sister was there, she was like, instead of saying, hey, give me a hug, nothing like that. Yes, we in the Addams family. We don't do hugs, we don't do love, we don't do care, we don't do compassion. Everything is fake. We're like a caricature of a family that's really not a family. So she didn't do none of this stuff. She couldn't do none of this stuff. I think she's a narcissist too. She just looked at me and looked at the kids, just cruel. It was just cruel. To me, it was really cruel. Very, very cruel. Oh my God, my hair just, I look like a hot mess. Oh, but anyways, she was just really cruel that year. It was like, oh, Kay's here. Let's make her feel as bad as possible. So now I'm gonna judge the kids. What's wrong with their hair? Like, as soon as I get in the door, what's wrong? You can't undo their hair. I'm like, okay. And I didn't want to deal with it. I was just like, dude, because at that time it was like it's like kicking somebody down. That's kind of how I felt. I'm like, dude, let me go to my mama's room. I'm tired, you know. So it was just that. Then it's like she give you these ugly looks, and she probably didn't think I saw her when she kind of had this little smirk because her grandchild, which weird because I guess I'm throwing shade on everybody. I don't give a damn because I guess most kids like me. I would say 9 kids, so I guess the little grandchild was a little hater because he didn't want to come close to me. I was like, fine, whatever, little midget. So and I guess when he did that, she just kind of smirked like, kind of gave that little smirk, like why, like she was like she got some satisfaction that her grandson didn't show me any love. That's how cruel she was. And her grandson probably was like 2 years old, 3, 4, 5 at the time, something like that. So my mom, she so basically I had to, so I guess months after that I had the conversation with my mom, and she was like standing up for my sister. She was just literally, it's like, dude, when are you ever gonna stand up for me? You're like, you never stood up for me. It's like you make excuses for bullying. It's like she made excuses. It's like, dude, she's just like that. She's just like that. That's your sister. You gotta love her. You gotta do. It's like, it was like no confirmation or nothing. Like, that was wrong. That was, I'm gonna talk to her about that. Nothing. It's like, even when I was bullied in school and told my mom was like, you might as well say she was a hater too, because during that, with those bullies, because she was just like, well, I told you not to join the flag team. I'm like, wow. So my mom, it's like, it was like she gave them an excuse to bully. Like, they got a reason to bully you. Like, and you wonder why I never was close to my mom. So, because my mom wasn't a mom at all. So basically it was like a punch in the gut to me. Like, okay, now she ain't changing, and she's never gonna change. She's gonna be on people's side. They're gonna bully me. She got reasons. It's like the devil. So I'm just gonna be like, I just stopped talking to her. I'm like, you're just toxic. You're not gonna be on my side. You're never gonna be on my side. And then the irony of all that stuff, she ended up dying from pancreatic cancer. And mind you, I don't know nobody in my family that died from any type of cancer. It's like unheard of. And she died a swift death. One day, find out she was sick, and within weeks it seemed. And then after she died, I'm hearing all these secrets and stuff that was told to other people. And of course, me being a black sheep, they weren't told to me. Of course, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm like, what other secrets? What other family secrets? After death, I'm learning about a plot of land that we had in our family that somebody basically took over. Due to, I guess they use a domain. I can't think of it. I know the second word is domain, eminent domain or something like that. They use one of those laws, and my family is so toxic and so divided, we couldn't even get together to try to save our land. You would think the 7 of us, the stronger we're going to be. Absolutely not. They were conniving. That same older sister did not want to even tell me about the land. She gonna use the same line she used this past Christmas. I want to give you a gift. Can I get your address? First of all, I never got that gift that first time around. And from what it seemed like, it was all about that land. But I don't want to tell her about the land. They always treated me like I was just nincompoop. Like I'm just dumb or whatever. They didn't want to recognize how smart and brilliant I am. And then everybody else plotting, trying to get this land and all this type of stuff. I'm the only one that basically was like, after I find out, of course, I'm like the last person to find out. Eventually, I'm going to find out. And I'm like, let's get together. Let's find a good lawyer, an actual lawyer, not a paralegal or whatever that they try. I'm like, dude, we're trying to fight the government, basically. And from my understanding, y'all want to get paralegals and stuff in this. Spoiler alert, we lost the land. And was it surprising? No. It was too many egos, too much secrecy, sneakiness, pride, pride, hatefulness, jealousy, all those things. It was too much of all that was in the mix. So we lost the land. It was hundreds and hundreds of acres. We could have gotten mineral rights. Cause the land had minerals, and money was in an account, because because as a family we couldn't do a simple Zoom meeting. It's not that difficult. I'm always gonna laugh about it, because at the end of the day, I'm like, dude, I feel like it wasn't meant to be, because I didn't know about it. So I don't have it. It kind of pissed me off, because that land was, I guess, my great granddad's land. It's supposed to have been in our family for generations, but because of secrets and other stuff like I just mentioned, we lost it. We couldn't have a simple Zoom meeting and talk as put aside our, I ain't even gonna say our, because I would say I joined in the mix of all that when basically things were about to end, because nobody wouldn't tell me shit. I think I found out more about it because I got a letter in the mail, and that's how they found out. That's how I found out, and they like, oh, Kay know about it now. They know. I mean, that's the hate that they have towards me. But anyways, my mom, she passed away from pancreatic cancer around, I think she was like 65 or 68. I can't really remember right now. And it had a funeral. First of all, of course, in my family, it's gonna be some toxic behavior. There's gonna be some infighting. I mean, that's gonna always happen in toxic families. That's just like gonna be expected. So my mom's funeral came around, and first of all, my youngest sister, who I was been staying with, I think she purposely didn't let me in her home or her apartment at the time, because she knew I was on my way, and all of a sudden I'm calling you and you weren't answering. And calling. It was cold during that time too. It was like late fall or early winter. Drove from Tennessee all the way to Texas, and couldn't let me in. Then my other sister, my older sister, I called her and she allowed me in her house. And then basically soon after she woke up, she basically kicked me out and told me to go to my youngest sister. Basically, after I went there, she basically told me to babysit her child while she get her nails done. So I'm sitting here exhausted and things like that, barely can get my kids ready, because we didn't get no sleep the night before or anything. And then on top of that, she comes home late and like, okay, they on their way. I gotta grab the keys. I gotta get Damien, her son, ready. And just left the house. They asses didn't wait for me. I was almost ready. I'm like, dude, nobody wait for me. So basically, the limousine that they rode in, I didn't ride with them. I drove basically, and I wasn't even part of the procession to my mom's gravesite. That's how you know when you a black sheep. So I was late going to the funeral, and it wasn't really that many people there, sadly. But am I surprised? No, I wasn't surprised. it wasn't really a lot of people. It wasn't, I was, to my mom's funeral, it was probably less than 20 people outside of my siblings. Even her grandkids really didn't show up. I don't remember seeing them. If they did, maybe one or two sprinkled here or there, but to me it was really sad funeral, because you just kind of seen the reflection of what my mom sent out in this world. And then the pastor had the nerve, the audacity to the same pastor that has his wife was hearing shit about me from my mom, he gonna had a nerve to rebuke me because I said my mom looking down on us. So when the funeral was over, I went to the gravesite. I think, did I even go to the gravesite? I don't even remember going to the honestly, I don't remember going to the gravesite. It's like everything was a blur. I think as soon as I left the funeral, I just left. I left. I just went, I'm like, this is some bull crap. I just went straight, I got my kids loaded up in my big old SUV and drove back to Tennessee. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm getting rebuked from the pastor. My siblings treated me as if I'm not part of the family. Not to me, honestly, I was like, my mom was tired, talking a lot of shit. Probably talking a lot of shit about me right before her death. And I was just like, dude. So I just left. I said I'd rather have my peace of mind or whatever than dealing with this fuckery. So I left. Nobody called. I think maybe my youngest sister called just to see, oh, if you're going to eat with us. I'm like, girl, I'm on my way back home, Tennessee, whatever, fuck y'all. So that's my story, that crazy story. And ever since then, of course my family is more fractured, and I always still kind of delusional about how they were. Didn't really want to believe that, yeah, they don't fuck with you. Like, they don't fuck with you, girl. Just leave them alone. And then when my eyes really opened up, and to really see the jealousy, the hatefulness and things like that, I'm like, you know, it's probably dangerous for you to be there, because especially being spiritual, and you in these spiritual streets. That, oh, it's hot. I'm in my car still. About head on home, but in these spiritual streets, you don't know what energy somebody could be carrying, whether it's your sister, brother, cousin, nephew, niece. You don't know what type of spirit they may have, that another evil energy can, you know, whisper something in their ear, or just activate something within them, and you don't know what can happen, end up getting killed or something. So it's like, dude, I'm separated from my family. Even if I go back to Texas, I don't plan on seeing them, because who knows what kind of energy somebody's holding. Could have an argument break out, a demon or whatever could whisper something in somebody's ear and start an argument with somebody here, because it ain't unheard of people putting guns out in families. And next thing you know, people probably start shooting, and then instead of shooting each other, they may shoot the innocent bystander. The innocent bystander could be me, you know. So it's like the devil won, you know, in that situation. Like, okay, we killed a high spiritual being or whatever. So that's my Mother's Day story. I'm really indifferent about Mother's Day. At first, Mother's Day used to be like a painful thing for me to kind of experience, because even when my mom was alive, it was really painful, because I never had that true support from my mom, that you can just really feel it. And just because, like I said, my mom held secrets from me. She stole from me. When she had money, It was like, I'm gonna keep it a secret so I don't help you in college type of thing, even though she sabotaged my chances of going to another college that I really wanted to go because it was out of town. It was outside the city that, you know, I was raised in. So I'm going to basically, or she basically sabotaged that dream by throwing away mail, preventing me from, mind you, I never checked the mail. But I guess because she knew I was getting college applications and stuff like that, or acceptance letters and stuff. Oh, she got some acceptance letters. Oh my God. So I never got any letters back from the other schools about the processes and all the other type of stuff, except from one college that was in town that was expensive and all that. I could have decided, okay, I'm not going to this college because it's expensive, which means more than likely I would have stayed home with mama and suffered more abuse, felt trapped, felt stuck, and all that. I'm like, when I hear spiritualists talk about, you know, get help from the ancestors, I'd be like, dude, I don't think I want that. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. All ancestors are not made equal. I'm like, do you want me to build an altar to an ancestor? I can remember a couple of them right now, and I don't think they F with me. I don't think I want. No, I'm good. I don't trust it, because I've seen some of my ancestors, and I see some people in my family, and I'm like, dude, I don't trust it. I'm sorry. Maybe people probably come in the comments and say something about that, but if you came from a toxic family that literally sabotaged you, and then they adultified you instead of treating you like a kid, it's kind of like, dude, I'm not sure if I want to do no ancestor altars. I feel like my life will be fucked up if I decide to do something like that and be like, dang, I'm supposed to be getting help. They over here fucking my life up big time. So I'm like, nah, I'm against that. I'm like, y'all do it. But I thought about that. I'm like, I don't think I'm being led to that. I'm so sorry. Come back in a year or two, maybe, you know, it may change or something like that. But I'm like, come back during that time. But other than that, at this point in 2025, I will not build no ancestral altars. My ancestors can stay where they at right now. Because based on my experiences, I don't trust them. And I definitely don't want my mama trying to work things in my life, because, oh, heck no. I'm like they say, as above, so below. I'm like, okay. But anyways, to all the good moms, the great moms, the moms that's giving love to their daughters and sons equally, to the moms that not showing favoritism, to the moms that's supportive and caring and building up the self-esteem of their kids, you guys, happy Mother's Day. Everybody else, y'all, I guess, be blessed. That's all I'm gonna say about y'all. But y'all, everybody else, have a happy Mother's Day, and I will see you guys soon. Bye bye.